He had teeth in the mouth, tongue in the lips. Actually, tongue in the mouth, teeth in the lips. Bitter, better. Silly Sally Swami went swimming and bound by the.
Wow.
It's just doesn't
These
look
are
right.
Ben's voice exercises. For those of you who's listening and not watching.
Yes. The best is this one.
Oh, wow.
Just a little motorboat thing.
Hey, Ben, have you ever... Never mind. Hey, how's it going? I'm Roger.
I'm Ben.
And we are a couple of...
Dudes from Utah.
And we're here. We're going to talk about stuff that's on our mind, places we've been, things that we've done in college, movies, pop culture, anything of interest, because the only common theme that we'll have every week is that we are
Dudes from Utah.
So, you are now listening to Dudes from Utah.
It's like your own little private Idaho, but not Idaho.
But right next to it.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Boy Meets World growing up? Like, were you a fan of Boy Meets World?
It was, I saw it. I didn't watch a lot of it. I was a little older to sit down and watch it. And I don't think maybe we had the Disney Channel at that point. Wait, no, it wasn't on the Disney Channel, was it?
It was on TGIF. I think it was right after Family
right.
Matters.
Yeah. So I was usually doing other things. I don't know. I think that was like my high schoolish days. So
that makes sense.
Remember. But yeah, I mean, I remember seeing it, but I hear there's some pretty good news. I know that I like the show. When I watched it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, I just remember Topanga, like the name Topanga.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was a real place until like my adulthood.
Yeah, right? Topanga. Well, wasn't that the girl's name? Topanga?
Yeah.
The girl?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But so were you like the Wonder Years? Was that your childhood?
Obladi. That was another one. The Wonder Years with oh god.
With Fred Savage.
Fred Savage. Yeah. That was more me. Yeah. That was
okay.
We watched a lot of that. Yeah. And
that makes
the other
sense.
one. Yeah.
'Cause
yeah.
Well, Ben Savage, Cory Matthews, the main protagonist in Boy Meets World.
Right.
This week's news, he has announced that he's running for Congress in one of the California spots.
That is awesome. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so you watched the show, obviously, right? You were just this little boy,
yeah.
all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go watch Boy Meets World, right? And you're like, oh, I want to be like this character.
He was,
I'm assuming.
Well, his earlier versions of him because it started when he was like in elementary school. His earlier versions, the show was built around him in the way that he was this child comedian, and that's like where they had the show go off from. And then as the show evolved over time, he became he was still the protagonist, but his character became more of like a Peter Priesthood type, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Well, he grew into, so it's like growing into yourself, being more of that, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know that he actually, because it's like, oh, cool, an actor in government. Okay, how's this gonna go? But he actually went to school he went to college for political science. That was his major. So I was like, that's pretty cool.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
No, you go. I'm still trying to figure out how to do remote podcasting.
We'll never know. It's a conundrum. Science is still out on how it works. And that's our lull for the moment. Anyways. No, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking, like, as we live in a social media age, and as we post stuff online, I think that people have this falsehood of like who you are based on what you post online, where really those are like fragments of your life, right? Like if I post a photo, that's like 1 second of that week. And then next week I'll post a different photo and so on. But then it starts to create the facade for you of what people believe that you are. But I think the same thing goes for content as well. Like, for example, we only know Ben Savage from essentially Boy Meets World. And it's like, that was his job while he was growing up. And it's like that, I don't think we truly know who he was. And that's why, like, it's hard to say an actor becoming a politician. It's like, yeah, but that was just a job. And those were just literally like 40 hours a week in his childhood that he was somebody else in the other times, because that was a written character. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's true. So there's been a lot of actually individuals that have gone into the acting stage, or from acting to politics, or some sort of in that kind of a different life, or the social, not social media, but limelight. And uh, President Reagan, he was an actor before he was president, and I mean it goes all the way back then. But there's even what's his name from Harold and Kumar, Kumar, what's his name? He was underneath. He worked with Obama, I think. What's his name?
Was it John Cho or
No, it was
Kumar? The guy that plays Kumar.
What? Yeah, Kumar. Let's see.
Was he
name
really?
Yeah. Well, it's Kumar. That's his name, Kumar Patel. So he actually.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah. So he did some stuff. Actually, and people were like, I remember when he decided to go into that field. People were like slamming him, like, "No, that's not you." But you look at what he had done before that. I mean, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. If you ever seen that one,
That's a
all of a sudden,
classic.
yeah, right. And it's like now you're writing for Obama. You know, you're doing all these things, but it's like but you know, they're talented people. It's what they do. And you've got there's someone else that's recent that did that.
I think he always said things like, "Get to the chopper." That guy.
Oh yes, Arnold Schwartz. Get to the chop. Get to the chopper. Black Hawk Down. He wasn't into that movie, but he could have been. Yeah, I can't. Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's a very different voice. Vote for me in California. Do you remember the California ads when he was the governor? Wasn't he? He was the governor, right? Of
I
California.
don't remember the ads, but I just always refer to him as the governor.
The governor. Dude, I don't know. Apparently he did good there. I don't know. I didn't live in California. Some people hated him. But that doesn't surprise me. He's more of a Republican type than anything else. But the
Is
one
he really?
that
I never looked into like what party he was affiliated with.
he's like very. I mean, he's not like super like over the top, you know.
Right.
But he votes more towards the Republican. It's the same thing with Denzel Washington, but he didn't run for any office. There's someone else I was thinking that was kind of funny that I thought, oh, that's interesting. Well, there's a wrestler. He was a governor. It was.
You're right.
Oh, what's his name? They were all on my.
Let me look
What's
it
his
up.
name?
This is the great thing about working or about podcasting remote is that we can have a computer here. Jesse Ventura.
How could I forget that? He was in.
That's right.
He was in Expendables too, I think. So, but yeah, man, like, there's a lot of people who go into that, and I think that's fine. I think it's cool. You know, I can see where being in the light of in front of the camera, and then going into politics can be a big easement, because you're all of a sudden, you know, you don't have to worry about, okay, how am I going to perform in front of the camera? But then you also have the people who go, oh man, how's this guy going to perform? Is he just performing this, or is it, you know, is he just giving us some BS hype kind of a thing because he's been a performer? I don't know.
Right. Like he's really good at pretending. Are they going to pretend professionally?
Yeah.
Kind of like,
anyway.
but like Zelensky from Ukraine. Like Zelensky, he seems pretty good. Why do we always talk about politics here?
I don't know. Well, because because
because Ben Savage is running
That's why.
for
Yep.
Congress. Yes. Sorry, for anybody that's listening that can't see us, forgot to mention, we have a new YouTube channel where you can watch these episodes now.
Yes, and we're probably the most beautiful people on YouTube.
You are. And hi there, everyone out there watching on the YouTubes. Thanks for watching. Mom,
Kent.
Dad, thank you.
All two people, all four of our fans. My parents, your parents.
I've dusted this hat off, my old Dudes from Utah hat, and you were just wearing it. But I don't, for those that are listening that can't see a visual, Ben, you're wearing a Grogu shirt. Sweater.
I am wearing a Grogu shirt. You got to bring the little guy in once in a while, you know? Grogu, a little Mandalorian. As people call him, the baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah. I've got a story about that if you would like to know a little bit about my day and how Grogu has come into play for my day. But you paused. You're gone. He's gone. He's no longer. Oh, there you are. You disappeared, Raj. Just for half
Yeah,
a second.
I don't know what happened.
I was like, what? Guys,
You did too, but I thought I'd act calm.
I just freaked out. Mom, Dad. I was like a little kid in a grocery store. Mommy, Dad, where are you? I can't find my mom and dad. Where's Roger? I can't find Roger. No, I freaked out. I thought maybe you were the Flash.
It's okay. I'm here. And you know what? With Grogu, you got to look out for the little guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Got to look out for the little guy.
He's awesome. Grogu. So today, first of all, happy St. Patrick's Day, Roger.
Oh, hey. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, yes. I know that you've got some deep roots in the Irish, in Ireland, and I can see
greens. Got my greens.
I see you're representing everybody in that tribe. So
yeah, technically,
the yellow, red, blue.
Everybody. It's a rainbow sweater.
So he's part of the. That's
one
cool,
of those
man.
people.
That's cool. So today I decided, to me, I like wearing hoodies maybe a little too much. Like they're super comfortable, but it's getting warmer here in Salt Lake, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna just sport one more hoodie before I start transitioning out of the hoodie thing, because I got to lose some weight, because I feel like the hoodie just sort of kind of hides the good stuff, the shed for the toolbox, if you know what I mean. And
that's why I love wearing hoodies. Yeah,
hoodies are freaking awesome. They're just comfortable. They're perfect for any occasion. Weddings, music awards. It doesn't matter. You just wear it anywhere. So today I'm like, I'm going to go out and find a green hoodie. But I wanted a specific hoodie. I wanted a hoodie with like the shamrock on it. I wanted the Irish.
You said go out and find I buy
today,
one?
Today, because I'm like, it's March 17th. It's like,
you bought it.
Today. Yeah, I'm like, I got to go find me a little Irish thing, and so I'm like hopping in my car and all the way down to the Target. And when I got to the Target, there was nothing there. And then I went over to the Walmart, and there was nothing there. And then I went over to the TJ Maxx, and there was definitely nothing there. And then I went to the bathroom at Kohl's, and there was a lot there. I'm pretty sure I wasn't welcome back there, but I couldn't, dude, nowhere in Utah, nowhere in my area is there a hoodie any longer on March 17th that has like a shamrock on it or a green hoodie. I just want a green hoodie. And it was pissing me. It was driving me nuts, man.
But you got a cool one.
Well, yeah. And what I realized is I'm glad I didn't buy it, because when I was out, I look just like I do now. I'm like, I was going to get a haircut. I was going to where I'm on camera now. I got to look a little more like Roger. And so I wore this.
In a rainbow sweater.
Yeah, in a rainbow sweater. Oh, ta-tee-ta-tay. Catch the Raj at the end of the rainbow. Hey, ta-tee-ta-tay. He's the gold you need.
That's good. That's actually why I wore this sweater is for the end of the rainbow kind of situation.
Well, it applies. I mean, you are a good-looking golden man. It's like, look at you. Hey, bring home the gold of Raj right there. But, it's okay. It ended up okay. What I realized is I went to like all these stores. I even went to like a van store, and I could not find anything. But everywhere I went, everybody kept like looking at me. And at first I thought maybe I was like, they're looking at me weird. Have you ever had that? You ever gone to somewhere? It's
Dude,
you know what I'm talking about?
Every day.
It's the kind of thing where you go, you're like, something like, I checked my zipper like 800 times at every store because people were just looking at me weird. And I realized that it was because of baby Grogu, but I got a lot of compliments from it. And people were like, it started up a ton of conversation. And I feel like a hermit, like I've been a hermit over the winter. Like I've been out a lot, but not talked to many people. And I think it's because this was a conversation starter. Then I started getting like all self-conscious, and I'm like, I got to get out of here. Like this is weird. People are talking to me. Mom, Roger, where are you?
So did you buy the Grogu sweater today, or you've had this?
I've had this. I just put it on to go. Because I need a little
to
green.
Go look for something green, but it works out.
Yeah, I just wanted. Yeah, so it was.
And have you
better.
seen all seasons of The Mandalorian? Just to call you out if you have or haven't.
I've seen all the seasons, yes, and I'm up to episode 2 of the last of the 3rd season. So we need to watch this.
Just premiered, right?
We're at 3 now, I think.
Yeah. 3 just came on. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, how about you? You been watching that? I know you're not much of a Star Wars person.
Nope, but you're gonna convert me. I was converted with the Obi-Wan series, and I thought that was really good. But no, you're gonna convert me when we're in California. We're gonna be right there to learn all about Star Wars. So I'm gonna have my Star Wars experience with you. But speaking of things what we're watching, Oscars were last week. Did you see Everything Everywhere All at Once? Have you seen that?
So, yeah, and first of all, my Padawan, which is a Star Wars reference, that's what you're going to be.
You're my
Padawan
Obi-Wan.
learner. Yes.
And I'm like the whining Anakin
The little Annie.
or Luke. They all whine.
Yeah. The only other person who whined that didn't get a Jedi anything, well, no, eventually did. Never mind. Was the one I couldn't stand. Well, actually, I liked him. It was other people couldn't stand him. Doesn't matter. Anyway. had
Short
the long
round?
hair.
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones. Speaking of George Lucas, dude, so to answer your question, yes. My wife and I watched, forget about Star Wars. Everyone knows Star Wars. 40 years of it. We don't have to talk about it. Everywhere, All at Once. Wait, what's the title?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. So Mina and I watched it, and I liked it a lot more than I thought I was gonna like it, and I'm glad it won, an award. I'm glad that it got what it got, because I'm personally, Raj, I don't watch the Oscars much, only if I know some beatdown's gonna happen at the beginning of it, but.
Well, you had four Irish people there, so the chances were really high.
Exactly right. But I don't know. What about you? Did you see it? Did you like it? Did you like it?
I don't have the ability to watch it live, but yeah, I watched the clips, and for me, my favorite was watching Ke Huy Quan. His speech, dude. Like, honestly, his gratitude and his down to earthness, like that. It made me feel like I won. You know what I mean? So I was. Yeah. The movie itself was really weird. It was
odd.
It was good. It was really weird though. But yeah, no, I thought the movie was great.
I'm glad. It was cool. I didn't, because I don't watch the Oscars. I'll catch it. It's like I'll go in and I'll watch something and be like, oh, this is cool, and then I'll get distracted, or maybe I'll get bored or something. But I saw the clips of when they won, and seeing, oh god, what's his name? Ke
Huy Quan.
Yeah. Have you read up on his story, like through Hollywood?
It's crazy because he was a refugee. He lived like as a refugee. He was in a refugee camp for like a year, and then he got to be in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Dr. Jones. And then from there, he tried to get into some other movies. He was in Goonies, wasn't he?
Yeah, Goonies, yeah.
And then
he was in Encino Man with Brendan Fraser.
Exactly. And The Well, which I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't seen that.
Me neither. I actually do want to see it, because I think Brendan Fraser is an excellent actor. But and that kind of a part, I'm sure it's a super sad drama. But dude, seeing him win, just seeing the clips, and knowing where he's come from, and what he has done in his world to be able to become who he is, he literally took lemons and made it into lemonade. So he ended up training people in Hollywood on like martial arts sets, like on how to fight, like in some of these famous movies that we've seen. And he was the actual.
You were talking about Ke Huy Quan?
Yeah, Ke. Yeah, and so he was the one who was teaching him. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. I mean, you don't see him, and he even mentioned, he's like, there just wasn't many parts for an Asian person to play, unfortunately, and if there was, he'd already been pinpointed as, short round and all these others. So it's like he made something awesome out of this, and then he gets in this movie. He made it, didn't he? Did he write it? I thought he wrote this movie.
I can't remember his involvement in the production of it.
I just thought it was cool. Then seeing him hug Harrison Ford. Have you seen that little?
Yeah,
little
I saw
montage?
that clip. That was awesome.
I'm like, that is really cute. That is way cool. And knowing that we know what we know about Harrison Ford, he's not exactly he's not really Mr. Lovable anyway.
Right.
But
he's just a grumpy guy all the time.
I mean, we just grew up with him thinking he was just super lovable, awesome guy, and he's just, leave me alone, let me act. That's what I do. But awesome, great show. It was weird. Jamie Lee Curtis mentioned that. Did you see what she said about it?
Yeah, it did. Mm-hmm. It was super weird, but it was good. It was. I think it did what cinema makes you do, and it makes you think, and it makes you have empathy and to think differently and to wear somebody else's shoes for a couple of hours. And that movie definitely did it. It was definitely weird, and it made me empathize, though.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let me ask you: as an Asian, my wife and her family, they liked it because of that factor and how they could compare. I mean, there wasn't a lot of similarity as far as the cultural side, but there's a lot of other things that go on in that film that's like, oh man, it's like you said, there's the empathy, there's the feeling, the dry in. But do you feel, is that why you feel like you say, hey, you feel like you've won because of, there's some comparison there of Asian?
Yeah, because I felt like there was, it's not just the stereotype that the general public has of what the Asian culture is like. And actually, it's two different cultures. There's the Asian culture, and then those of us that are here in America, there's an Asian American culture. That is, those are like two completely different generations and two different types of mindsets. But they really showcase that a lot to where we got to experience the Asian American lifestyle in America, like where our parents and we even stereotype ourselves of like, how are we supposed to be, how are we supposed to behave, and so on. And so it was really cool to see that. And yeah, no, it's just, I felt the same gratitude with Ki Hui Kwan winning, that like he just bled that out, and I just felt it. So it was awesome.
Good. That's awesome. That's a good one.
I don't see him on the credits though in anything, at least from director or producer or anything, but maybe he is. But I'm just looking at IMDb. But he's done a lot in Hollywood in the background, like you mentioned. But speaking of, you mentioned Harrison Ford, George Lucas. Did you see this past week at South by Southwest, Disney showcased a real life lightsaber? Isn't that cool? And he's like, I'm only supposed to light this up twice, and he does it again. Dude, like the day was, I'm sure it's been here for a long time. They just probably finally were able to go to the, to the like army and say, okay, look, military, we're going to have to bring this out to the people. They probably have been using this for years. We don't know. Can you buy it?
I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know. I know they said they're still working with the prototype. They're doing some additional things to it, but I think that was just the highlight for the presentation that it was there for.
I mean, it was awesome. I haven't found a good enough clip of it too to like even know like how it looked, how it worked. I just seen somebody on stage from Disney presenting it, and I'm like, I want to see it.
That's the thing. So I kept pausing it just to see like how it was lighting up. I thought, okay, I know with Disney, like there's plenty of real time things that they can do. Like when you go to Disneyland, you can go talk to Crush, the sea turtle, the turtle from Finding Nemo, and then he will have a response like if people will ask questions. So they're able to do things where it's like screen wise, and it looks like you're actually having a conversation. I'm like, okay, is this something that is like a mirror thing where we're just seeing it on the maybe it's the back of the screen or something. It's just following where his hands are, or because I can't imagine they're going to say, here's a lightsaber. This could literally cut your hand off. This can't be a laser that actually is going to do something.
Right.
But it's got to be like a flashlight or something that, how they do that, I don't know.
I'm curious about it. I'm looking at this article and I don't know, but they did say that they unveiled it as part of, I'll read this here. It's from the New York Post. It says, it was unveiled as part of Disney's insanely expensive Galactic Star Cruiser hotel experience.
Oh, so it's for their hotel.
So I don't know if like the cast will use it, or like I like to call them professional cosplayers, or if like you can use it yourself. I'm just curious. But that was cool. Anyway, that was dude. But
I think it's cool though. I mean, would you buy one? That's the thing. Like, okay, if you can get one, are you going to get one?
Ben, when we go to LA in May, I may buy a lightsaber there. So would I buy the real one? For sure.
Dude, it's like a no-brainer, right?
You've been to Disney a million times. Have you bought a lightsaber from there?
Not yet. No, I want to. My wife, she is like the perfect person to say, hey, if you're gonna spend that money, let's like pay a bill or two or something. No, but I want to, I'm always
That's a
like, I
good
want
point.
something else.
That's a
But
good
she's like,
point.
look how much crap you have in your office. I'm like, but it would look so good right there. But I'm still gonna get one.
Well, who knows? Who knows? Whatever happens in Los
LA.
Angeles.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just keep it in LA and bring it home.
So we're talking a little bit about Disney. Let's make a shift over to DC real quick. Couple of things going on with DC and James Gunn's DC universe. This week, James Gunn announced that he's going to be directing the new Superman movie, Superman Legacy, coming out July 11th of 2025. So 2 years from now. So Henry Cavill's out. Everyone's kind of phasing out. And the Flash movie is said to reset everything anyway. What are your thoughts on that, Ben?
A cop out.
Yeah. Is it a cop out?
Dude, I don't know. I have a hard time. Yes and no. Well, here's okay. So growing up, it's it's always been Superman is the key. Batman has always been awesome, and anything DC has really been awesome. I mean, Super Friends, Justice League, all that stuff. But I look at where they're doing this, and I guess the good thing is they really do have. The one thing they have over Marvel is they have the Flash that has already had this set in the comics. I didn't read the comics or anything, but that has done this kind of thing where it's the Flashpoint where he's gone back and he's
Flashpoint
changed some
paradox.
things. Yeah, and they've shown this on the television series and everything that he's done that already. But I do think that it's going, in no doubt, it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a great show. I'm not worried about that because it's DC and they have not really pumped anything out too horrible. It's actually been pretty good, even with Zack Snyder's long stuff. I liked all that. I liked the fact that buildings were being crushed and all that crap. It was just, it was cool. But man, I don't know. It's kind of like, okay, we can't use these same actors, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and reset it by doing a Flashpoint.
Can I spoil? Actually, I'm going to put a spoiler alert.
Spoil
in
what you
here
want.
About Shazam. If nobody's seen it yet, Shazam comes out next week. The sequel to the first Shazam. Mm-hmm. And have you seen any spoilers from there with cameos of people in Shazam, the new Shazam movie?
Not necessarily a lot of spoilers, or cameos. I know I did say there's gonna be. I know there's gonna be a lot because of this new set that they're doing.
Can I spoil one for you? I actually saw a real video clip of it online. I wonder if I feel like Warner Brothers pushed it out too. Gal Gadot is coming back as Wonder Woman as a cameo in it. Yeah. I don't know how big, but it's like, is this the last time we see her? Because of Gunn resetting the whole DC universe.
Okay, here, pull up your pants a little bit. Sit down, okay. Tighten your belt. Cross your arms. Listen in, because Uncle Ben's going to tell you a little story. I don't know. The end. No, okay.
There you go.
Actually, I truthfully, honestly, dude, I think that I think they're going to keep her as Princess Diana. It's Gal Gadot. I mean, she doesn't age. She's beautiful.
It's
she's
so hard because
a good
it's
actress. She knows.
Is
what
there
she's
anybody
doing.
else that could fit that role? Like,
no,
people born to play certain roles is like, I feel like she's definitely one. Like, I couldn't think of anybody else.
She's perfect. Well, and they've only done 2 Wonder Womans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last one was pretty good. I thought the first one was excellent. The last one I kind of thought was, because it was set in the 80s, and so, well, anyway, it was good. I think it could have been better, but it was still good. But I think that what we're going to see is a lot of the same characters that you would see that we see everywhere. Like Aquaman, I think he's going to continue sticking around, and he'll fade out, and maybe have Aqualad or something come in, because he's still a big deal in Hollywood. Same with Gal Gadot. The one thing that I've heard is, they're not going to bring Henry Cavill back.
Yep, Cavill, and Ben Affleck said he was out.
Yeah, but at the same time, what a better time to say, okay, we're going to bring this all in. We're going to bring all these guys in, and they'll continue to have cameos in every single action series that we do moving forward, because these are all good actors and they played a good part, and I think they're going to be fine. I'm glad they're resetting some of the cast, but I know with the guy, what's his name, who plays Barry, what's the actor? Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, is that going to set in? I don't know, with what he's going through. Is he going to continue being the Flash? Because he's had some
crazy times, yeah.
And so, is it going to be a new Flash? Is it going to be the one from? Oh God, I don't even know all the names. The one from
Barry
the TV
Allen
series?
from the TV. Grant Gustin, yeah. It could be. I think Gunn is going to come in and he's going to wipe everyone out and do something completely different with all new people. Because it's like, if anyone's starting a project, right? Like if you're brought in to work on a project, I don't want anyone's leftovers. I want to start with a blank canvas.
Yeah,
so
and he's pretty good
that's
at
kind of
that.
where he's at. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that with Zach is, or not Zach, but with James, is he has a very good way of leading you one way and then doing something else. So it could be we're gonna, Henry Cavill's not gonna be involved. Then all of a sudden, boom, Henry Cavill is super involved. He's done that with the Marvel series. He's done that with other things he's done. So he likes to let out some, I like to say, some lies about what's going to happen just to see what the media does. And I think that's cool. And I think he'll be great for it. I think they needed someone like him to be able to do this kind of thing for DC. But man, I am excited. I mean, we got a Supergirl coming out now. She's going to be there. Yeah.
Oh, in Flashpoint, or sorry, in the
Flashpoint.
Flash movie.
So we know that they're going to,
which is Flashpoint.
Yeah. So that might be what they're going to, hey, now we're going to have Supergirl instead of Superman, but you can't kind of count him out. But I don't know.
That threw me off because I was thinking of the Batgirl movie that they filmed and then they scrapped.
Yeah, that was probably a good thing. I don't think Batgirl would hold much attention for many people, honestly.
I don't think so either. Talking about DC, and you mentioned Zack Snyder as well very briefly. I think a Freudian slip brought in Zack Snyder. This week, Zack Snyder himself has been teasing stuff for the last few days on his social media accounts. And it's kind of looking like they're going to release the Snyder Cut in theaters for... He just keeps saying April 28th, 29th, and 30th, but he keeps posting images from the Snyder Cut, and I wonder if that's what's leading up. That's what he's teasing out, because I can't see him teasing this for anything else. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for James Gunn with the conflicting roads. I think it's just a one-time event kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if I don't think they'll be too conflicting. I think that they've been able to work together on this. Look at where Zack Snyder's come from. His daughter, what took a hit from all of this was the fact that his daughter committed suicide. And unfortunately, and that took it. I mean, it would for any parent. And so he focused a lot of his time and efforts on that. Same with his wife. And so that kind of put him in a different mindset of, hey, this is what I'm going to do, rather than, I'm going to focus on my family rather than, 100% on making films and stuff. So I think that he was willing to work with James Gunn for the most part. I don't know. There might be stories that he wasn't, or maybe James Gunn was not willing to. But I think that by him wanting to release, or them releasing this, like you said, it's going to merge in with that Flashpoint, or with the Flash, of what we're going to see. Because there's going to
be some sort of connection. Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever watched the Flash or the Zack Snyder cut? Did
you watch it?
Yeah, like the 4-hour long.
It was so good. There's like 12 chapters.
Oh my gosh. And there's so many good things. I mean, it was going to be kind of dark, and I was almost expecting that because it was pretty good. But, they had, what's his name, come in and shoot the rest of it, and then he redid a ton of it.
Yeah.
Why can I not? And I like him anyway.
And there were some scenes that...
Anyway.
Oh, they had Ben Affleck. He brought in Ben Affleck to do some reshoots, and even the post-credit scene and stuff, like that was all done in, I think, Zack Snyder's driveway. Like they just shot it all there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's amazing the movie magic that they do, and with Jared Leto in there as the Joker. It was good, man. It gave me chills.
Yeah.
It was really good.
So it was Joss Whedon. I was looking at this. Was Joss Whedon who came in and
The Whedon cut.
and he made it more campy, more fun, more bright, which was good for the time what it was all about. But yeah, they really it was the Joker, man. I mean, did you watch that last thing where
that last scene with the Joker, that was worth it.
On the
That
car.
whole
Oh
thing,
my gosh.
it was cringy. It was like I don't feel good.
No, there was something bad going on. If I've mentioned this in the past between me and you, but there's a game called Injustice.
Yeah.
And that cut that the Snyder cut was going along with that line, where it was you have people that you didn't think were going to be together to go fight, and
Right.
then everyone has to go fight against Superman. I mean, it was crazy, and it's a fun game, but to me that would have been like, DC, do this, because that will be the break between what Marvel's doing and what you're doing. It'll be like, oh, okay, it'll be a good disassociation.
Yeah,
between
we
the two.
really haven't had a hero. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of it, but from the Marvel side, we really haven't had a hero that has turned and that everybody had to protect the world from that number one hero turning dark. So yeah, you're right. I think that would be great for DC's perspective. The next one. In more movie news, the new Fast 10. Oh yeah, we talked about Shazam, the cameos. Fast 10 dropped a poster this week. I mean, there's this blend between who's in DC and who's in the Fast and Furious movies. They seem to share people there. You got Gal Gadot, and you've got Jason Momoa, even The Rock, as Black Adam, jumping back and forth between movies. Not Black Adam, but The Rock. In Fast 10, this new poster kind of shows a lot more people in it. Brie Larson's in it as well. But I'm wondering, with Gal Gadot's contract, I believe ending or rumored to end with DC, like she's not going to continue doing the Wonder Woman movies.
Oh, is that
That
what?
leaves
So I
her
could be
open
wrong.
for work now. So if she's open for other opportunities now, do you think that she'll come back in the Fast and Furious movies?
Well, she was in it before, huh?
Yeah, she died, but she died off screen.
Which number?
I think that was 6,
13? Oh,
either
6,
5 or
okay.
6. And she died off screen. I mean, Han died too, and they brought Han back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so it wouldn't surprise me if they do. Well, Fast and Furious, dude. Fast and Furious is you got me back into Fast and Furious, Raj.
I got you
You're the
back
one-
into it, or I got you into it initially? Because
No, because
were you ever in it in the beginning?
Oh yeah, like I mean, when it first came out back in like the early 2000s, that was like I remember watching Paul Walker and playing his character. This was awesome. It was a cool show. And then the second one came out. I'm like, okay. And then when the third one came out, I'm like, it was Tokyo Drift or something. I think is when they lost me.
Yeah,
because it was like
third one, Tokyo Drift. They didn't have any of the original cast, so they had
No.
to change it up.
which tells me that they're like, okay, we need to do something, but we can't afford Vin Diesel right now because I think he only had like a small part in that.
He was a post-credit scene.
Yeah, and so it's almost like maybe we can if you remember, he was one of the highest grossing actors at the time, and so he missed out on a lot of good parts because he was too expensive. That was one of his downfalls. He was just so expensive to get. But when you get him, I mean, he's getting some good money. But
Yeah. But if you look at Universal, like what Universal likes to do is they like to squeeze the life out of any IP that they have and get every little last dollar they can. And I think that Fast and Furious 1 had some hype to it. They tried a Dukes and Hazzard style for the second one, but without Vin Diesel. And then by the third one, they're like, well, we have the IP there. We can definitely get some people into seats and sell some tickets. So let's just make one. And I think at that point, Universal was smart about a decade later where they were like, you know what, we have something good here. Let's bring back the original cast and let's pick it up from 4 and go from there. And I think that they've done a good job ever since. They're all popcorn movies, but they're great.
Oh, dude, that's what I love about him. It's it's a cult following. They knew they had some sort of a cult following, and now it's become what it is. And dude, I mean, cars doing backflips off of things that would never be possible. Being caught by a helicopter, or dude, awesome. That is a movie that still needs to be around. You know, I want to see blowing up, things blowing up, and people doing things that are just ridiculous, because that's a movie that takes you out of the norm, the serious drama of life and all that stuff. It's like, man, let's go, just like I said, popcorn movie. I want to watch this. Plus Vin Diesel, man, it's all about family, man.
It's all about family. There's heart in it, man. There's heart.
There is.
And I loved in like what they did in 9 is like, they're like, because people were always like, 9 was a nod to all the critics out there. They were like, because people are like, oh, are they going to do like 50 of them? Where are they going to go next? To space? And people would say this stuff. And in 9, they went to space. They totally leaned into everything. That was
so cool, dude.
Which is a very smart move to lean into it. If you remember that final scene, I wonder if I've said this before in our podcast, because I use this analogy a lot, but in that final scene in 8 Mile with Eminem, when he it's that last rap battle, the first thing he does in his rap, he's second to last before the last guy that goes, he's like, I know what this guy's going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up there and rap about everything wrong with me, and I'm going to lay it out there. Yeah. And then when the other opponent goes up, he'll have nothing left to say. And I feel like that's what Fast 9 did. They're like, let's just take everything that everyone's critical about and use that and lean into it. And then now it's like, okay, what else do people have to say now? Nothing. It's like, we leaned into it. We went to space.
Well, I loved it, dude. I love it's okay now taking everybody else's idea and putting it in there. What a great way to make a movie about something
thanks
so
for the
far
ideas,
out, but being believable. Well, I know the same people would do Fast and Furious. There's some bleed into like Shazam as well. Like I don't know if it's the same directors or same individuals. And then also, what's the one, that doll that's super scary?
Megan?
No, it's the other one. It's the other one that's based on a true story, actually.
A doll that's scary that's based on a true story?
Yeah, it's like a Chucky thing. Why can I not come up with it? It's called Annabelle. So you'll see Annabelle in Shazam movies. But anyway, the point is if you notice in Shazam, he talks about, like, there's like a little spot where he's like talking to the bad person, the bad guy. And he's like, it's all about family, because he's thinking that all of his family will be there.
Yeah.
And he references the Fast and the Furious. And I think there's someone that it could be me just making crap up, which is 90% of my life anyway. But I think they all blend together. So you're going to see a lot of the same actors, the same people in these. So that's why it wouldn't surprise me if Gal Gadot is in this coming up. But I mean, come on, this is the new Fast and Furious. Is kind of like you've got your superhero movies and then Fast and Furious.
They're superhero movies.
It's like yeah, they're there. I think eventually you could take all the superhero movies and either make it directed from how it all came from Fast and Furious, or how it's all going to merge in Fast and Furious with the Marvel, with the verse. I mean, you really could. You take the different actors and put them in, you got them.
DC, are they related to Universal?
No, but they do a lot of stuff with Universal. They're literally not far away from Universal in LA, so they both have the big production sets and stuff. So they do a lot of
there just seems to be a lot of DNA in both studios, in Universal and in DC stuff.
Yeah,
so because like sharing of actors here and there, and it's like it could be like a multi-studio contract here and there, but yeah, Fast 10, that's coming out in May. We're gonna go see that. Ben and I are gonna go see that, and then the sequel to that wraps it up will be out next year. My prediction is that it's gonna take a lot of money to do a CG Paul Walker, so he will not. My prediction is he won't be in Fast 10 Part 1, but they will have him in Fast 10 Part 2.
I'm sure they will. I mean, they kind of tried it in the last, the third, fourth one, fifth.
They did it in the seventh one, yeah, when the one that he was filming, so they had to wrap it up with him. Yeah,
because his brother came in and had to kind of be the part for him.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a cash grab. I mean, you don't even have to have a strong movie for these last two, or a strong story for these last two, and it's a cash grab easily.
Yeah,
but they'll treat the fans.
I'm so excited. I'm looking at the poster, man, and it's just I'm excited already. You know, I'm like just
Dude,
I'm ready.
You
I'm ready to go.
got Charlize Theron, Jason Momoa, Vin Diesel, Tyrese, Ludacris.
You got
John Cena.
John Cena that was in the last one. That's his brother, right?
You got Shaw.
Yep. Oh man, Luda
And
Luda.
Luda and Brie Larson is in this one, so she's a newcomer.
That'll be interesting. I bet she'll kick butt, or she'll kill it in this one. But
have you seen the trailer?
I did. I was okay. Yeah. I was watching a show. I was watching a movie, and all of a sudden this came out as a trailer, and I think the first thing I did was send you the link.
Oh,
to it. I'm like, dude,
yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna pee your pants, dude. This is like, if anybody's a Marvel fan like that Raj is the version of a Marvel fan.
Yep. For the Fast series.
Like he would, like if he could be Vin Diesel's side piece, he'd be totally fine.
I just want to be in a car somewhere in that extras area. You know, I just put me in, coach.
I would like for both of us. I would like, okay, whoever's doing Fast and Furious, I want you to reach out to us so Roger and I could be in a car in space together next to Ludacris and Tyrese.
Saying, hey guys, you know, I just remembered something that was pretty meta about 9. Like, if you haven't seen 9, anyone that's listening, if you haven't seen 9, you got to watch it. But there's even a part where like Tyrese, Tej, he's getting shot at, and he's like, wait a minute. He's almost breaking the fourth wall, and he's like, we go through all this, and I'm not even shot. I'm not even bleeding. How are we? We're not supposed to be this lucky, you know? And it's so meta. Like, they totally lean into it. It's awesome.
I think it's hilarious. That's what I loved about that show, because they were making fun of themselves. It's like Expendables.
Absolutely.
Have you ever watched any Expendables?
Yeah,
movies?
I love the Expendables.
The whole premise is hey, we're having fun, but they are making fun of themselves from the 80s. They even brought in Chuck Norris. You know, for being the lone wolf, because that was and they made Chuck Norris jokes about him being the lone wolf. I mean, it was the same thing, and so it gets the audience. It takes you out of that, you know, breaks the fourth wall, takes you into the show a little bit more, the Deadpool kind of a thing. But it's awesome.
Dudes from Utah is not brought to you by Green Lights. All right.
If you have some.
Hey, Ben, have you read Green Lights? Let me read to you. I'm gonna. This
Please.
book is so golden. I'm gonna read to you a random excerpt. I'm just flipping through here. Okay. Let's just go to here. For me, the congas, bongos, and the djembe have always been the purest and most instinctual instruments. No sticks, no electricity, no equalizer, no strings, no tools or amendments. Just skin to skin with the most analog spoken language, prayer, and dance known to man. The percussion, the root of music, from the roots of music, Africa. It was time to lose my mind in it, take flight into the haze, and slip into the stream, because it was time for a jam session. All right. That was a terrible Matthew McConaughey impression.
No, that was see that. You know what I love about this book is that the way Matthew McConaughey writes is not much unlike my essay paper when I was in like 8th grade.
Right.
Lots of like one-liners with commas. One-liners, commas. They're good. It's good. How about this one? I've had 78. I've had 78 stitches sewn in my forehead by a veterinarian. I've had 4 concussions from a small out. 4. I can't even read. My favorite part, though, I've bongoed naked until the cops arrested me. I've resisted arrest.
I remember that part.
I've applied to Duke, Utah, or UT Austin. See, I said Utah, but that's actually University of Texas, Austin. Southern Methodist, and gambled for my college education. This guy, I don't know, I could go on and on. You know, the one thing about Matthew McConaughey is this book is as good as he smells, you know?
It is. Tears of joy began to run down my cheeks. I looked her way. She was crying the same tears. The photographs, an ultrasound. She was pregnant. We cried, we laughed, we danced. The only thing I ever knew I wanted was to be a father.
dude.
Go pick it
I
up.
love it. Yeah, and check out the first chapter. Oh, dude, mic drop. Mic freaking drop right there. My favorite, just to premise, is that how he talks about his mom almost stabbing his dad to death, and then they proceeded to make love on the kitchen floor right after. If you don't believe me, just read it. It's nice. All right. And then go buy yourself a Lincoln. That's where Roger went. He went to go buy himself a Lincoln. Because he just wants to be just like Matthew McConaughey.
Ben, did you know that the first day of spring is almost here?
It
like
is.
Literally, it's here. By the time this is out, it's here.
Dude, it's around the corner. It's March 20th is when it is. And I cannot... yeah, go ahead.
Do you have snow still at your house?
There's a little bit. It's mostly just that. It's that snow that you look at and you go, you look pathetic. Yeah.
Right,
like,
that little
it's
patch of like, it's all dirty. It's like, why are you still here?
Yeah, like we don't need you. I want to see a tulip there. I don't want to see the snow there anymore.
Right.
That's
like
what I want.
It's time.
Yeah.
Your
Yes.
buddies have melted away.
I feel, speaking of, by the way, I am drinking one of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's delicious things. I'm pretty sure he has Chris Rock in the basement making this for him, but it's really good stuff. Not Chris, Kevin Hart. Excuse me. Wow, that's a little faux pas.
Chris Rock. It's like, okay.
Sorry, Chris, you're being flung all over the place there. No, Kevin Hart. But no, dude. The snow. I'm done. Coming from Utah, if you haven't been in Utah, if you are listening to this and you haven't been in Utah, or if you have to know, and you're not native here, you have to know that it can get just downright weird. Like, it can be really weird. You could get like 20 feet of snow. Well, but you can get a ton of snow, at least 5 to 6 feet of snow. And it could be March 20th. I mean, it could happen, and it has happened. Other times you can go through a whole summer or a whole winter, and it'll be no snow whatsoever. I mean, it is nothing. We are in a desert, so we're obviously going to see that come and go. But man, for some reason, this particular year, I feel like this particular year, I've felt like I've been more like a hermit, more like just like an inside, leave me alone. Like I'm Gollum down in the middle of like the mountain. Like, just, I don't want to go outside and see the light of day. I just felt so down. And today, being able to go out and feeling the warmth, oh man,
that's awesome.
Finally,
all in like a week too, because it was like snowing just last week, and you look at the forecast, it's like, okay, it's going to be just rain from here and warmer weather. So it's here, like just came up on us.
It's so nice, dude.
So I kind of want to leave you with this. Don't forget to go swing by IFA country stores, get your fertilizer, get that step 2. Is it step 2?
Yeah, it's
step 1.
Yeah, they have a step 4, so it's 1, 2. Yep, step 1. It'd be
it's step 1. Oh yeah, because it's the first of the year. Yeah, the crabgrass preventer and the lawn food. So go pick that up.
Yep.
Do you really use it?
I do. I went last year.
Dude, it's a magic.
Thing. It is. I don't know what they put in that. It is like crack cocaine for grass.
It really is.
The kind that grows in the front, not the other kind that
and the grass grows like crazy if you stay on top of your fertilizing.
It's awesome. It's so
great.
nice. I don't know what they do. Those farmers, they know what they do. They know what's up. Them farmers from the IFA.
We are farmers.
Dun 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 dun.
You know,
right?
Seth ruined that song for me because maybe 5 years ago, Seth did a post and he's like, every time you hear the "We Are Farmers" song, I want you to always think of it as Seth J. Fulmer, bum ba bum 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 bum, and literally for 5 or so years, might have even been 8 years, I think of that every single time.
Dude, Seth, that rocks, man. That is totally right. I love it though.
Now I've ruined it for you and everybody that knows Seth and is listening.
Yeah, and if you don't know Seth, you should know Seth. He's a great man.
He's great.
Seth J. Fulmer, that's hilarious. Dude, I'm ready for the spring. It needs to be here. I need the vitamin D in my life. I just need it. I thrive off of it. I love it. I don't like when it gets super hot. Though in the summer,
and we're gonna get we're gonna get some Sunny D when we head to. I keep bringing up LA. I'm clearly looking forward to it, Ben. Looking forward to spending time with you in LA and to talk and get together with our fellow podcasters.
It's gonna be a lot of. It's gonna be. I say that a lot. Well, it is gonna be a lot of fun. It's fun. We get to go see people. We get to go out. We're gonna go and enjoy the sun. The LA. We're gonna be one of the big wigs walking along. Roger's gonna lose me because I'm gonna be like, I'll be like, Dwayne's gonna, Rock Johnson, he's gonna see me. He's gonna be like, I need
DJ,
you. Like,
yep. DJ.
Yeah, and Rock's, I'll be there, and you're gonna have to come home to my family and be like, oh, Ben's done.
Family.
You're gonna have to move out
also,
to LA. Yeah.
You're going through kind of a rebrand yourself right now, where you're going with Benjamin Saltz on all of your socials. So if anybody wants to look for Ben, there he is. However, if you find Benjamin Saltz on Instagram, he's under the Benjamin Saltz, right?
The Benjamin Saltz. Yep.
And then you may see his name in there as Benjamin Sattles. So he'll go in and fix that as well. But
is it Saddles? Is that what it was? Is that what
as your name, not as the handle, but as your name, you have Benjamin Saddles. I'm like,
I'll have to talk to my PR guy. He doesn't know how to. He's got thumbs like this. Woohoo! Maybe I should change
rodeo
the
season's
Benjamin
around the corner.
Ding, 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 ding. Woohoo! Benjamin Saddles. Welcome to the Benjamin Saddles Show. Yeah, Benjamin Saltz. I figured, Ben Jones. Everybody knows. Well, if they know me, it's always Ben Jones. It'll always be Ben Jones, but Benjamin Saltz. That way, people outside of the state will, because there's going to be some relation to some things we talk about in Salt Lake, because that's where we're local from.
Ben, my goal is to keep our show, Dudes from Utah, going so much and keep you as busy with everything. And my plan is to keep you as busy as possible so that you never have time to produce your Saltz podcast.
Produce my own. Well, so far it's working. Yeah, there we go. This tells you that Rogers really does have a big head. Look at this. He ordered these, and dude, is that too big for you?
I'm an XL. I'm an XL helmet, and I wear bigger helmets than most people I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I've got.
You'd never tell.
Yeah, no, people.
And Ben has you have like a child head. I think you could not even lying. Like you have a small head.
Youth, right there. Look, youth.
Is that really?
Youth. YOUTH.
Whoa.
Right there. So my youth hat. People will go, let's steal my hat, and they'll think that's gonna be funny. Oh, I'm gonna put it on my head. Wow, I look like I've got some. I'm gonna go get a haircut today. And then they'll put it on their head, and they'll be like, it'll look like this on them. Like, what's going on? And
that's how it'll look on me. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's more fun than anything is when someone says, "Hey, let me take your hat." Oh, it doesn't fit. What's the first thing they do? They try to force it down. Like, look, my head only. These hats are hard to find. It's either this or those little kid ones that you see at like Walmart, that are like little beanies that have like the thing on top of it.
Ben, I think that next week or the week after or in the future, we should probably bring in some guests. I think it's time for us to bring some guests onto our show.
Am I that boring? Okay, yeah, let's do it. Who should we bring in?
You could drill them. I could think of some names. I could think of some people. We talked about DJ. See if he's available.
Yep. I think he would be. I really think he would be okay. I think he's a pretty nice guy. Maybe his buddy, KH, can come along.
In the show.
Yeah, I mean they're it's a 2-for-1, and let's do this. Let's just see if we can get like the whole cast from the Fast and Furious.
Bring them all in. Vin, bring them in.
Yeah, starting with John Cena all the way up.
Paul Walker, bring them all in. We'll get them on the show.
Paul, we can just do a little tune in from like we'll just call one of those people who can talk to the dead, the people who passed away.
I know a spiritual person.
Do you really? Actually, do you really, for sure? Like for real, do you?
We know a spiritual person.
We do. We do know a spiritual person.
Yeah,
It took me a minute, but dude, it took me a minute.
That would be a fun episode.
Please, let's. Please.
Before it's too late.
We've got to.
You know what I mean? Like before it's too late.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away.
I wish I could say more. Everyone. We just can't. But this is just one of those moments.
But Ben, there might be a day someday where we can say it all because it'll have been past that time.
It will. It will. Just don't drink the juice. That's all I'm saying.
Don't drink the juice. Thank you for listening to Dudes from Utah. My name is Roger Sang.
And I am Benjamin Saltz.
We're going to let you get back to work now.
Yes.
So don't tell anybody that you were listening to Dudes from Utah, that you were listening to some inspiring podcast. But thanks for listening. And
Yes. Hi to happily, not too tight to. Happy Irish Day. Go kiss yourself an Irishman. Go kiss yourself an Asian man named Roger.
wow. Wow.
wow.
I don't want COVID.
Wow.
I don't want COVID from anybody.
No.
So
No, just
no
a hug.
kissing.
No.
Just a hug.
sure?
Just
Not
like
even-
a elbow bump. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast.
Hey, we appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
And we want to read your comments and reviews on the air. Leave a review for us on Apple Podcasts, or post your question on our social media, or slide into our DMs.
Yeah, you can even put a paper airplane and throw it towards me. I'll read it on air.
Yeah, courier
Thank you.
pigeon. We
Yeah.
can do it that way.
That's even better.
You've been listening to Dudes from Utah with Roger Sang and Ben Jones. Dudes from Utah is produced by Salt City Garage. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dudes from Utah, or get exclusive content at
Dudes from Utah.
.com. Thanks for listening.
Awesome.